I should be streaming now. What's up, guys and gals? My name is Eclipid. I'm here with
Matt.
Matt. Yay! And this is our theory video. Yes, our
It's
theory
gonna be
crafting.
a doozy.
Oh
It's
shit!
absolute doozy.
It is gonna be a doozy, and I'm streaming a black screen right now. I forgot to switch my my video output over. Am I even streaming? Is the question. Capture specific window. Capture. No. I think I'm streaming. Display capture. There we go. Yes. This is what I want.
Do you want me to double check?
Yeah, sure. That would be helpful.
Let's see. It says you are live now.
So
Yeah,
I am live.
Yep. I'm seeing your I'm seeing Chrome through your desktop, so
Cool. Oh, it's
Yeah.
still
Yep.
titled The Ultimate Test. I gotta change the title of that.
Oh, is it is that the
Yeah.
last episode?
This is a mess. Sorry, guys.
Sorry,
What-
it was a little impromptu.
Yeah, it definitely was a little impromptu. What else would you expect from us? Do we seem like some professionals? No, we're
No,
not.
Of course not.
We're definitely not any professionals. Oh, that means I should post this in the Discord, both Discords actually, the channel
Yeah.
Discord and the Umineko Discord. There we go. All
Hi,
right.
Nia. It's not a rerun. This is our official theory live stream.
Yes, I
So
forgot
stick
to.
around if you have the time.
I forgot to change the title. Sorry, Nia, but it should be changed now to theory crafting. So yeah, when we left off in Umineko, we saw quite some interesting shit at the end of last episode, right?
You could say that.
Um, let's pull up some comments here from the end of last episode, since this is new for me because I've never actually just streamed my desktop before. I usually stream Umineko, but people are seeing what we're doing here as we're checking things out, which is going to be nice for them. So the final mystery. This comment was funny. Oh no, Matt. Basically going, stop showing me magic that didn't happen, just show me what happened, is giving me bad vibes. So, looks like we're in for some more magic fuckery. Yeah,
What's going to happen in Chiru? What's Chiru?
that's Umineko Chiro, which is the second half of the game. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
Mentor and Chiru are the same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Umineko no Nakukoro ni Chiru.
Alright.
So, all the required pieces have been put to you. Just read through the previous chapters, which we're not doing because we don't have time for that.
Yeah.
But we did pick out some things. I think each of us got a few scenes. Here we have the only magic we saw in the first one was Kansas gold butterflies. Trick with Maria's the first time witness who survived tell the scene to tell others solar magic. Do nuclear bombs count as items of furniture? Maybe you have some notes of how everyone died in the stories. Oh yeah, we ended up getting mixed up a lot on how people actually died. And did you write anything down about that?
Well, I have Kinzo burning
Every time.
very consistently across every episode.
Yes, Kinzo definitely burnt a lot.
The way that it appears people die in this series is mostly different every episode, but as we've said before, it's possible that they died a certain way and then the stakes were stuck into them.
Yes.
So like we don't know for sure if the way that we see them die was exactly how they died.
Yes. Yes.
So I don't really have anyone else. Basically what I did was I Um, I took your advice and I went through specific moments that
Mm-hmm.
were just really head shakers, and like you said, also involved a lot of magic.
Which
But what I
ones?
also did is,
Oh, sorry. So go on. Go on.
oh yeah, what I also did was I just wrote down a bunch of themes that have been consistent throughout the story and how they relate to the characters.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, what were you saying earlier?
Oh, I was gonna say, what scenes did you write down? Do you wanna start with the interesting scenes that you found first?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, yeah. We'll start with some of the scenes you found, and then we'll go on to some of the scenes I found.
Okay.
Actually, before you do that, I wanted to quick bring up one scene somebody marked in the comments, which was, where was it? It was either on 19 or 18. It was somewhere, and it was about when Anji was going to the island. Um, Anji was going to the island, and she was going to that. No,
She was going to the island,
she
and
noted. She
oh,
said
sorry,
something
you
along.
cut out. What'd you say?
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she noted something along the lines of how Angie said you would need a boat to get to the other island, or you would need a boat to get to
Or
Kuwadarian.
right.
Did I send that to you?
Yeah, you actually posted that in the Discord, I think.
I did.
And why would she need to charter a boat? Like, isn't that
Yeah, why would she need to? Yeah, okay. What if there was an underground passage or something between the mansion and Kuwadorian?
right?
It would have been a pain to charter a boat each time he wanted to visit the mistress's
The
house, right?
mistress's house.
So why would he have to charter a fucking boat? Like, okay, so there's a boat, and there's obviously a boat to get from mainland to the island,
Hmm.
but there's also a boat, like, why would he need a boat to get from his mansion to Kuwadorian? There's obviously a jungle in the way, but it makes it seem like there is a ravine or something that's incrossable. You know what I mean?
Right. It makes it like you would think with all his money he would be able to make a straight path
Mm-hmm.
to Kuwadorian through the island.
But it makes
However,
it seem like something's actually in the way that is impassable to get to it.
so are you thinking that it's like technically part of if we're assuming that there is two worlds like they've been talking about,
Mm-hmm.
are you saying that Kuwadorian is part of that other world then?
Not necessarily. Maybe there's just like a huge ravine going all the way across the island. Like, you know how if there's an earthquake and like the two plates split from each other and like there's a huge crack in the ground or something,
Yeah.
and you couldn't just like walk over that crack. But if you built a tunnel underground, you could get underground because you wouldn't have the crack in the way if you dug deep enough.
Hmm.
If there's like something like that, but okay, yeah, your worthless winners
Worthless.
in the
Yeah.
comment section said if there's a ravine, how did Rosa get to the mansion in chapter 3? That's right. But the fucking boat. Why would you need a boat? What is Angie talking about here? I
Well,
don't
I
know.
mean, unless it's to dissuade people from trying to get to it on land, or if it's tucked away in such a certain way, like maybe it's in a no, because Rosa, when she got there, it made it seem like she just walked across the island and climbed a fence.
Yes.
KDA mentioned something relevant to the need for a boat back in chapter 1.
You know, the only thing I'm thinking is, what if there are not just one island, but what if there are two islands? What if Kuwadarian is on a separate island?
Well, I mean, we have Rokenjima, but we do know that there are smaller islands around it, right?
Yes, but like, what if Kuwadorian is like a complete other island? It's somehow Rosa swam with, but then Rosa got there. We read about Rosa getting to the mansion.
We also read about Rosa falling off a really sheer cliff with Beato. Or no, well,
Yes.
Beato's the one who fell.
Rosa can walk on water. That's the answer. Yes, congratulations, you
Rosa
solved it.
equals Jesus.
All right.
I think Jesus would be a little better to his children than Rosa.
Jesus.
You know.
I agree. I don't think Jesus would slap their child or slap somebody in the face. Anyways, what were you saying? You started to say something there.
Yeah, I wanted to mention, since we're talking about Kuwadorian,
Yes.
I went back and watched a little bit of Rosa and Beato's conversation. Yes. I'm blanking on what. That was chapter 2, right?
Was that chapter 2?
Or episode 2?
Can somebody in the comments tell us quick which episode was that? Because I will navigate it to it quickly. I will get to this.
I should have written it down. But it's really interesting going back and watching that, seeing the way that Beato acts, because the way she acts in that scene is very much like
innocent and childlike.
Innocent and childlike, but it's also kind of it reminded me of how in the most recent episode we've seen like 2 Beatos, basically.
Yes.
The one that gave him the headship test, and then the one that,
yes,
you know, we see in the Tea Party.
And
based on what the VN is showing us, they're 2 separate Beatos. So it makes me wonder if the Beato that Rosa met is one of those that we've seen in these later episodes. Even though she supposedly died, I wonder if there was a way that she was resurrected somehow.
No, you mentioned what you mentioned. We talked about this. I remember is how Kinzo was looking for a way to keep her soul alive.
Right. And that she felt that her flesh was a cage.
Her flesh was a cage for her soul. Which is interesting. So, we know the Beato that Kinzo had seemed very much childlike.
Right.
Now the question is, if she acted super childlike, I think it might have been this episode. No, it wasn't this episode. I'm stupid. Rosa's Bamboozled? Was it this one? No, it wasn't this one. Whatever. So, Rosa and everyone else had heard rumors about the witch, right? When they were children.
Yeah.
And she was expecting Beatrice to act like menacing and like a witch, like scary, right?
Right.
Now, my question is, she did not. She wasn't anything like what Rosa had thought. And that brings me to ask, that Beato, is that even the real Beato? The one that Rosa met?
Well, it is, I think at the time... Oh, real quick, Shadow Tunberry 2 says it's in Chapter 3.
It's in Chapter 3. Alright.
They're looking for what video it is.
Who is Beato? It was probably this one.
In that interaction, it's very much... She doesn't know what's going on with herself. she's just as confused as Rosa is, and she can't really give her any answers. But it always seemed to me that her kind of I guess attitude is kind of downcast, or her demeanor is kind of downcast, and it reminded me of Kanon. Kanon always felt like he was lost and didn't really know who he was. Kind of depressed, almost. And so, in that sense, with the stuff that Beato has said about her being Kinzo's furniture makes a lot of sense. If they're feeling that same kind of existentialism, you know, and they're both furniture, that's kind of like a shared link between them.
Between Kanon and Beato?
Yeah, it doesn't mean that they're the same person necessarily, but it means that they have somewhat of a similar experience, right?
Yes. That is very true. So we found the right episode, and we're on it, as you can see.
Yeah.
So this Beato knows nothing about what's beyond the fence. She doesn't even know what a zoo is, which means I think it's fair to say that she's been trapped in this mansion in Kuwadorian for her entire life. She doesn't know who she is. Everyone calls me Beatrice, and that certainly does seem to be the name of a great witch, as you say.
Mm-hmm.
When you mentioned reincarnation, this is going to sound wild, but hear me out.
It's Umineko. I don't think anything is too far for Umineko.
How either A...
John?
Yes? Did I cut out? Hello?
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello?
Can...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my mic is not going through Discord for whatever reason. It's going through the audio, but it's not going through Discord. Yeah.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't going through Discord, my mic, but it was going through OBS. Everybody could hear me that I was talking to, but it just wasn't going through Discord. I don't know what's wrong with it. Yeah, so Beatrice says, and that certainly does seem to be the name of the Great Witch. So, Theory 1, Kinzo, this Beatrice is not the original Beatrice. This Beatrice obviously has been entrapped in a mansion. There was a Beatrice before that Kinzo knew. That Beatrice...
they've shown us is Virgilia.
Yeah.
According to what they've shown us, Virgilia is the Beatrice predecessor.
So whoever Virgilia is was the original Beatrice, maybe? And then that Beatrice died somehow. Kinzo reincarnated her soul into the body of an infant somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And the original Beato's soul is inside this Beato's body. And she doesn't have any memories from her previous life, so she's wondering what the fuck is going on, why everybody's calling her a great witch.
Right.
Something like that. Or, Kinzo found an infant, kidnapped an infant, brought an infant to the island, and encaged the infant because it looks like Beatrice. That seems more like Kinzo, doesn't it?
Kinzo really is a...
Kinzo kidnapped a baby, an infant. Doesn't that make sense?
It makes me wonder if... Does Beatrice wear the eagle?
The one-winged eagle? Yes.
Yes. I've wondered for a long time whether she is actually part of the family.
Of the family?
But then she couldn't be furniture. Because I don't think Kinzo would allow that.
Ooh. Huh. Wait a second.
What are you thinking?
Unless...
is it possible that Anji is was taken at a young age, or no, that wouldn't make any sense.
Unless Beatrice got demoted to the position of furniture somehow.
Mm-hmm.
If what you're saying is she was family originally, and you're like she couldn't be furniture. What if she can be furniture, but she got demoted?
Kicked out of the family, basically.
Not necessarily kicked out of the family, but not considered part of the family. Like maybe she did something.
We have to consider too when we're thinking about this. We have to think about the whole the fact that Beatrice was considered Kinzo's mistress, and that give me one sec, sorry.
No problem.
All right, sorry about that. But we have to consider, because we don't know anything about Kinzo's first wife.
Holy shit!
And we really don't know much about what's what the whole adultery situation entails.
Mm-hmm.
But usually, at least in my mind,
Yeah.
when that kind of thing comes up, there's usually some kind of child involved in those relationships.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So what are you saying?
You there, John?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello. Hey.
Hold on. Sorry.
Can you hear me? Test. Hello.
Hey.
Hey. My Discord is
Alright.
cutting out. I don't know what's wrong. I'll just
so
keep
weird.
a look on it.
Okay.
Yeah. So what are you saying about that again?
I was just saying that when you have, typically in fiction, when you have a story about a mistress or, adultery, that usually comes coupled with some sort of illegitimate child.
Yes.
So we have to take that into account when thinking about if the Beatrice being Kinzo's mistress theory is true.
Wait. So you're saying that this Beatrice could be the daughter of original Beatrice?
I mean, I don't know for sure, but I've kind of had a sneaking suspicion, and I actually think I mentioned that in this video.
Uh-huh.
Back when we recorded it.
Okay.
So, I don't have a lot of evidence to back that up, but it does make me wonder if this Beatrice is actually Kinzo's daughter with Virgilia, who is the original Beatrice.
Now the question I'd have is, why is Kinzo is obviously still. I don't know. They're he's trapping. If this is his daughter, of him and Virgilia, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's trapping her in a mansion, not treating her like a daughter,
Right.
and he's still in love with Beatrice.
Right. Interesting note. Shadow Tomberry says that we've seen that Virgilia's parallel is Kumasawa.
Yes, and if you heard me say if you heard me say holy shit, just like did you hear me say holy shit like a minute or two ago?
No, I think that's when it cut out.
Oh, that's when it cut out.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about parallels, right?
Yeah.
And original Beatrice her parallel or original. Sorry. So we have Beato in the story, right? The Beato we all know and love. Her mentor. Her mentor is the original Beato, which is Virgilia, who is paralleled as Kumasawa, who is a mentor to who? Kumasawa is a mentor to somebody, or multiple people.
Kumasawa and Battler seem to have a relatively close relationship. Like if we go all the way back to when they met in chapter 1, before they got on the boat.
Uh-huh.
It seemed like they had a pretty close relationship.
But if we're talking about like mentorship,
right?
What does Kumasawa do for a living?
Well, she's a servant.
Uh-huh. And if she was a mentor, who'd she be a mentor to?
I would assume the children of the family. But you mean who specifically?
I'm saying Shannon and Kanon.
Oh.
Because they are also servants. But they are younger servants.
So they would be looking to her to kind of show them the ropes and everything.
Yes. And you brought up parallels between the innocent kind of Beatrice and Kanon before, and I think it's okay to go out and say it now, that when we were discussing this before, and I think we're both pretty, we're not 100% sure, but we think it's very possible that Kanon is Beatrice.
Yes.
Because, so I have these screenshots up, right? This is from the end of the chapter, the end of chapter 4, when like red text goes flashing by, and it's hard to read it.
Never come back.
If only you had never come back. I wish I had never been born. Why am I unable to love anyone? This is the one.
Yeah, that's a big one that they share. That we know for sure that both of them share.
Please.
In terms of their inner monologue.
I don't
care
what conclusion you come to. Just kill me and
bring my story to an end.
Yeah. Why am I unable to love anyone? Kanon.
Yeah, I mean, his entire arc throughout this story has been that he has feelings for Jessica, but because of the way he's been raised and what he's been taught, believing that he's not human, he isn't able to love her in the way that he either thinks he should or thinks that normal people should. But at the same time,
wait. When you brought up Beatrice, you said if she was part of the family, but she could be a servant, right? Or
right.
Not a servant, but if she was part of the family, but she was furniture, right? She
wouldn't be able to.
Yes.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking like, well, what you just said was with Kanon feels like he can't love anyone. He can't love Jessica because he's not worthy of it. What if Beatrice did something that made her not worthy to be part of the family and furniture instead? And then because she's not worthy of being a family, she's furniture and unable to love anybody, not worthy to love anybody. Kind of like Kanon. Does that make sense? Am I stretching it too much?
I'm not sure. My my mind is kind of all over the place right now. Can you say that one more time?
So I see parallels. Like Kanon is Kanon furniture because, or is Kanon unable to love anybody because he's furniture, or is Kanon furniture because he's unable to love anybody?
Well, let's take a step back and think about whether this is an actual restriction, an actual physical restriction placed on them, or if it's just them getting inside their own heads and saying, "This is the way it is, and this is why I can't do this." You know, if it's nature or if it's nurture, because if let's just say that magic is real and Kinzo was able to create servants that are furniture and have these halo
Mm-hmm.
energy swords, like um if that is the case, then that could very well be a case of nature. But if that
Yes.
isn't the case, then the way that Shannon, Genji, and all of the other servants that wear the eagle were raised, they were indoctrinated into thinking that you are not human and therefore you cannot love.
Mm-hmm.
But if they actually are human and just were taught that, then they actually are capable of love. They just haven't seen the truth that they are human. And therefore, they can't see it. They don't have love because they think they're incapable of it, and without love they can't see the truth that they are human, I guess is
Or
what I'm saying.
or maybe they were what I was thinking is, what if servants are people shunned from the family for some reason? What if they have genetic defects or something?
Hmm. Yeah, because otherwise where are they just going into? Well, okay, so it talks about Kinzo's gospel orphanage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are they just taking is Kinzo just taking children off the street and indoctrinating them, or like you said, is he taking people from his family, from his own blood, that maybe, like you said, were unfit to be in the family?
So
Hmm.
Kinzo has not one illegitimate wife; he has a ton of them, and he's just a baby making machine.
He's just creating children to be servants.
Okay, but here's the other thing. So people in the comments are going off about how Canon. Somebody says, "Oh, Rosa asked Maria multiple times. Oh, are you sure that the person that gave you umbrella was a man, right?"
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. You said Canon was voiced. Canon does not look like a guy. Canon looks like a girl, and he was voiced by a female voice actress, a
Yeah.
female save. What if Canon's a trap? A reverse trap?
Dude, that goes all the way back to to chapter 1, the first time we met him. We had this like exact same discussion.
Wait, were we just joking then?
I think we were, but I think actually, I mean, the whole trap thing aside, I think that him being voiced by a female voice actress and having feminine features,
Sorry, go on.
I think that's I think that's something that we should be paying attention.
I think so too. You
Sorry,
saw the
just like
comment? I'm kind of sure Kinzo's Rekenji on Baby Factory is not something I've heard the community discussing.
maybe we're just particularly messed up.
All right, yes, I know there's a history of male characters when they're younger, especially teen males being voiced by female seiyus. I know there's a history of that, but Canon legitimately looks like a fucking woman.
Well, I think to me,
Wait,
what?
I got it. Maybe that's why he can't love, because he's a woman and he thinks he has gender
All right,
dysphoria,
okay,
right?
all right. Whoa, now.
No. I'm serious. What if he has like identity problems and he feels like he's unable to love? Like he can't accept the fact that. So
Oh,
like he's a woman, but he identifies as a guy.
And so it makes it difficult for him to
Yes.
know. Would that really?
Okay,
I'm not so sure about that.
I don't know. Let's throw that line of thought away for now.
Yeah.
um.
Zekuto says that it's kind of pointless trying to draw the hints from characters' design / voice actors since the original game had different sprites and no voices. They were
Those
done
were
by
done by
third
third party.
Well, I would agree with that, except at the same time, the people making the PS3 version and the people making this new one, I mean, they wouldn't just randomly throw in voice actors or designs. Like, there's a purpose behind how they design things and how they do it.
Yes.
You know? But I'm not sure. You know, we could just be reading too far into it.
Beato, Kanon, and yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Am I cut out?
Oh, we're having issues again.
I'm back again.
Okay.
So we're talking about Beato, Shannon, Kanon, apparently all focus on gender roles. So does everyone else, but those three do it the most. The three of them are constantly talking about gender roles.
Right.
And if we're thinking Beato is canon, it explains a lot.
Right.
There's obviously something fucked.
Sorry, are you still there?
Oh my gosh.
I lost you again. I'm not sure what Discord's doing.
Discord is being dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. It keeps cutting out my mic for whatever reason. I mean, it's...
Do you wanna... I mean...
Restart the call quick?
If Parsec is causing issues, I can just watch from the live stream. It'll be a tiny bit delayed, but...
No, I don't think it's Parsec. It was
okay.
it was doing this last week too for whatever reason. So, I don't know what's up with Discord. It's OBS is getting my mic, but Discord isn't. Anyways, if I just cut out, I'll just keep monitoring my my Discord output, and
okay.
I'll fix it quick. So, what we were saying was...
It literally just happened as you started talking.
No, I didn't say anything. It didn't cut out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just didn't say anything. I don't know what I'm saying.
So, okay, so just looking at these comments here, Zekito, that's a good point. So I guess maybe it's interpretable as to how the character... Well, like, thinking back to the backgrounds, the one background that was actually important in this mod was the one that showed Sakataro in the plastic bag.
Yes.
But other than that, people are saying basically they don't have a lot of significance to them.
Apparently not.
And Emilio Hearn says, does this theory have to do with Kanon's deaths in the first 4 games? We can certainly take a look at that.
Kanon's deaths in the first 4 games?
So Kanon... The ones that I remember are Kanon dying defending Jessica, and that was episode 3, I believe.
Yeah.
In episode 4, Kanon was killed... Or no, was that episode 2?
Episode 4, Kanon was shot in the fucking chest as he was exiting the well. They couldn't find his body. They said his body was definitely in the well, though.
And that it had fallen down there.
Yes.
Episode 1, Kanon was stabbed / shot through the chest in the boiler room, trying to face down the golden butterflies.
And
Chapter 2,
there was nobody there, and it wasn't a suicide. So what happened?
Yeah. Episode 2 was while defending Jessica. Episode 3 was a closed room. Alright, thanks, Shadow.
Yeah, so episode Episode 3 was also... No, wait, which one was the one... Episode 3 was the one where Kanon came back as a ghost.
Yeah.
And then, which one was the one where he came back as a fucking zombie? Was that 2 or 1?
That must have been... No, he came back as a ghost in 4.
He came back as a ghost in 4? No, in 4 he was killed. In 4 he fell into the well and he died.
Oh, damn! Wow, yeah, you're right.
I'm pretty sure. Return of the Spooky Ghosts. There's a chapter called Return of the Spooky Ghosts. Yes, that was 2, and Kanon has these fucking red demon eyes. And he came back as like a fucking zombie. So we don't know what happened here. And then chapter 3 was the one where he comes back as like, he's resurrected from, he's pulled back up by Beato from purgatory or wherever.
Right.
Which is so fucking ridiculous, but whatever.
And he's like talking while he has like a gaping hole in his chest.
Uh-huh.
His massive wound.
And then they hid in the curtains, him and Jessica. We never found out what happened to either of them after that.
Right.
So there's that. Oh, the one thing I did want to check over is there's one scene in... there was the first scene where without love it cannot be seen. And I think that's... I want to check out this scene. But I also want to first check out the scene in chapter 3, the one called 6 Years. Because we do...
They kept saying that, right? That's why you named it that?
They do keep saying 6 years. So...
And that also fits with Beato talking about what happened 6 years ago. And how... for whatever reason, Beato and Battler are connected to each other based on an event that happened that he apparently caused only indirectly.
Yes.
That she's upset at him about.
So this could explain, like, they really hammered 6 years home. They said in, like, every other line here. Battler...
I actually, it's funny that we're on this now. I was thinking about the significance of numbers.
Yeah.
Like 7 being the number of completion, like biblically.
Also, a lot of people in the comments were saying this is their favorite.
But I don't know. I couldn't think about what the number 6, what kind of significance in, world lore that has.
It might not. Does it have any? Do you think it's more than it seems, or do you think they're just talking about 6 years because Battler hasn't come back for 6 years?
Well, if we go with the theory that everything has 2 sides to it, then maybe there's more significance to the number 6.
They keep bringing up chess, but the numbers are off.
Well, if we're thinking about time, it makes me wonder what November the 29th is.
Yes.
Because we know that
fucking 7/26, 11/29, right?
I thought it was June 15th.
It was 6/15.
Or July 15th.
7/15. 7/15. 11/29. Yeah. You're right.
Worthless Winner says, can you think about if any other events that happened 6 years ago? Or think of any other events?
No. I went back searching through all the episodes, and this was the only thing I could find about 6 years ago. I did look for 6 years, and this was the only thing I found. So, I'm gonna turn up the volume, and we'll actually play this back for you guys.
Okay.
Playback speed. I had it on 2, but we'll play it from here. Let's take a look at this just for a second. There's something I noticed here.
What?
How How many times have they said the word 6 years here?
Okay,
so I point this out here.
Same
thing?
I was like, they're really saying that a lot.
6 years, 6 years.
We understand that it's been 6 years.
6 years.
That's like
6
the
years.
whole of elementary school.
6 years, 6 years. Maybe something important happened 6 years ago.
The only character that we've seen
Yeah,
even
that's an excellent point.
like talk about elementary school was Maria, when she was talking to Angie about how every class needs a witch to basically pin stuff on.
Yes.
And how she became that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure what significance that has to the overall story.
Repetition for emphasis.
So all of the people here, George, Shannon, Jessica, remember what happened 6 years ago.
That's the only reason I could think why they're freaking saying 6 years every other sentence.
They all remember what Battler looked about 6 years ago, but they're all surprised to see him now. Battler's memory he said his memory is hazy, so he doesn't remember much about 6 years ago, even from now.
Or at least he's saying he doesn't
Take a
remember.
shot every time they say 6 years.
Yeah. Oh, we'd be gone.
You know? Like, what if Battler's hiding something?
Stop saying
Or
it.
something traumatic that happened to him that he doesn't want to talk about.
Yes, or something traumatic that he forgot because it was too traumatic to remember and it was a sin.
Ooh, so something that he blocked out of his mind because it was so traumatic.
What if that's the real reason he hasn't come back to the island for 6 years? What if that's the real reason? And he forgot that there was a reason why he didn't come back to the island. And the whole thing with him and his father getting into a fight was just a bullshit thing.
Oh, hold on. People in the chat are saying not remembering.
Yes, not remembering is the sin. The sin is not remembering what he did.
So does that still work with our...
Well, he could have done something. He could have done something that he regretted and still blocked it out, and that wasn't necessarily a sin.
Or something that was done to him.
Or something that was done to him. Yes. But anyways, I'll keep playing this. I can remember as clearly as if it was yesterday.
That's a good memory. And I'm now George.
There it is! Just say things Battler did and said. You don't have to put the 6 years. I swear, if she fucking says it again.
Especially to remembering 6 years ago. I'm crappy at remembering.
Maria is
We all
crappy
have
at
to say that
remembering,
everyone's
apparently.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear it.
そうですね。確かお帰りの際はこうおっしゃっていました。また来るぜ。See you again.
I'll be back. See you again.
I'll be
And
back.
then-
See you again.
I wanted to hear
And the
it
music
again.
cut off. And remember, wait. Remember when?
What?
Remember when...
Okay, let's take a look at this. This is interesting. So the first thing that stood out to me is right when she said that, the music cut out. B, she said he said something like this when I got back, when he left. I'll be back. See you again. Remember the last time we noticed that there was like really a lot of English being said?
It was with Angie, wasn't it?
No, it was. I think it was with when Battler. Remember when Battler was on the phone, and he got called by Beato. It was the chapter where Battler was reflecting upon all the deaths and trying to figure it out, and he was the only one left on the island. It was when Beato had called him out. Beato was using a shit ton of English on the phone.
She was. Yeah.
And who uses English? Apparently Battler 6 years ago. Speaking English is his specialty.
I'll come for you riding a white horse.
Now, what is that supposed to mean?
Well, I mean, death is a pale horse in Revelation. But I don't know if pale horse and white horse are the same thing.
And he's saying this to Shannon?
Yes? Or was he just saying it in general?
Let's see. Let's see if it elaborates on this at all.
Zen Dameda. It's no damn good.
I think he just
No,
says I'll come for you on a white horse.
I wasn't saying that he was gonna come to murder Shannon. I was wondering because there's a lot of biblical symbolism in this visual novel.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just my mind trying to wire connections that may or may not be there.
This is the only thing about 6 years ago. This has to be it, right?
Or at least the only time when they mention it so often.
I don't remember anywhere else in the visual novel they say anything about 6 years.
Well, Angie talks about it, doesn't she?
She
In
might have.
Episode 4.
Does she? What does she say about it?
I think she just mentions offhand that Battler had been...
Gone for 6 years?
Yeah.
But, like, this is the only time we see Battler and other characters mentioning it.
Mention it, yeah. I mean, they talk about it in the beginning, too. But just offhand as, like, a piece of information rather than a hint to something, I feel like.
Is this, okay, this is gonna sound completely ridiculous, but hear me out, okay?
Okay. Let's hear it.
Battler did not remember saying, "I'll be back, I'll come for you riding a white horse." Shannon was expecting him to come on a white horse, and he never did.
What do you mean? Like... Sorry. Can you elaborate on that?
So basically, this is gonna sound ridiculous, but what if this whole thing is petty? That Battler promised Shannon he'd come back to her, and then never did, and then Shannon got pissed off, murdered a bunch of people, and it's like, you don't remember? You don't remember saying you'd come back to me?
I can't believe you forgot. Wow.
Is that
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
You know, this
Although,
stuff here is so ridiculous. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow that was the case.
I actually, with the music cutting out there and Shannon being the one to recount the story, it is interesting to think about. I mean,
so
here, back, see you again. I'll come for you riding a white horse.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's what waiting for him, and since he forgot she can't get closure, maybe a few more issues just makes her snap. Oh, fuck.
Think I lost you again.
No, you have me. So,
okay.
Nia says maybe she just kept waiting and waiting for him, and since he forgot, she can't get closure, maybe a few more issues makes her snap. So, basically what I was saying, but...
Right.
So Sakuto says maybe rewatch scene from where Beato speaks to him from the balcony. This, okay. People recommended we rewatch this anyways. So yeah, let's check this out quick.
Okay.
Where are we? That was in chapter 4. Do I have the chapter 4 tab open? I have two chapter 2 tabs open. I have a chapter 4. Here we go. Balcony. The sin. Here's the thing, though. The sin because of how Beato describes his sin, I think it's probably more complicated, yeah. I just threw out a random theory because I have no fucking idea what the sin could be, but...
Yeah, I'm gonna start saying that.
That was just me just throwing random things out here. Let's see. So here's I'm gonna pull up the balcony scene, and let's check this out.
Worthless Winner says we can rule out Maria because of her bad memory.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And not only bad memory, but I mean she was so young.
Mm-hmm.
If she's 9 in 1986 when the bulk of the story takes place, then 6 years ago she would have been 3. So
Yes.
she would have been too young to really remember anything.
Yes.
Unless she has a rare genetic thing that apparently like only 10 people in the world have, where they remember like even their birth and stuff.
But didn't we just see in that 6 years ago scene where like, oh, Maria has bad memory?
Yeah.
So
So not that.
somebody else mentioned that the chess pieces have, if people on the island are chess pieces, the island has 17 people on the chessboard, but chess only has 16 per side.
Right.
So, what are you implying?
Man, there is so many. My brain is like melting. So, when we're thinking about this, one of the commenters, I'm sorry, I forget who it was, said that we have to think about it from the perspective of, if magic doesn't exist, how could this happen? But at the same time, and they're absolutely right, at the same time we also have to think about the chess analogy, the religious symbolism. We have to think about
Everything.
there's like different timelines. Is this a freaking parallel universe, man? I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Well, I have no idea either. So there's too much to keep track of. So all we can do is focus on one thing at a time. Let's check out this scene quick. I'm gonna see how long the scene is, just so we're not watching the entire thing. I might play it in double speed.
Okay.
So it'll go faster, because we already read this.
Yeah.
Even this island seems to be stained pitch black at a glance. He says, I am me, I am here with my feet on a... It's strange.
We also want to. I know I'm just kind of adding fuel to the proverbial fire, but we also want to think about what we saw at the end of episode 3 with the massive fake out, and how Beato's creepy smile glitched out and showed us kind of a concerned face for a little bit there. And again, that goes with this, with what we've been seeing, that there's not only two sides to, you know, Beato, but two sides to everything and everyone.
Yes.
Not just the people, but also the world.
Oh, and then the other thing I didn't check out is Beato we've seen in 2 outfits.
Yes.
And this is her this looks like her schoolgirl type outfit. And then she has the purple dress outfit. And I feel like I never did go back and check. I said I was going to, but I never did go back and check because I forgot to see when she's wearing each and what significance they have.
Right.
Can people in the comments tell me if that has any significance, if it's something that is helpful? Yeah, because I don't want to waste my time going back to checking to see when she wears what dress if it has no significance.
That was kind of the hard thing about preparing for this too, guys, was
okay, it has no significance.
Trying to figure out what we should actually be looking at and what we should skip, because there's just so much content to go over. And you know, we both have jobs, we're relatively busy people, so
yes,
it, you know, it's kind of difficult to know what we should actually be looking for.
So somebody said in the comments, remember the clues. Or think about the clues. Think about the questions. What do you mean? Clues and questions? What clues? What questions? All of them?
The questions being like, the locked rooms, like the mysteries.
All of the questions. Just think
I mean,
about
everything
all
is
the
a mystery,
questions.
but
Somebody else said, what would allow Beato to commit those murders without magic?
right.
That's the other thing we got to think about. But we'll keep that on the back burner. Let's do this first.
All right.
Start with Beato's final riddle. Yes, that's what this
That's
is.
good. Let's
right?
start there.
Or wait, the final riddle is what's the sin, right?
I believe so.
Where's the final riddle? Who am I? Now here's
Who am I?
1, your life, 2, blank's life, 3, everyone else's life. The blank's life is just that has some significance. Who is the blank?
Well, she said she left it open because she didn't know who he loved. And he says he doesn't love anyone. So I'm assuming that's why he can't remember what happened 6 years ago, because there's, in some way, and I don't know in what way, but there's love missing.
Worthless Wonder, to answer your question, the only time I can think Battler had any interest in any girl is when he was groping Shannon's breasts, and I don't think that's...
Or no, wasn't it Jessica's?
It was Shannon's, I think.
Didn't he, like, do some weird stuff to Jessica when they first met on the dock?
He might have. So it might have been both of them.
Ugh. Come on, Battler.
It was Shannon.
Oh, okay.
Mia said it was
Wait,
Shannon.
when did that happen?
That was towards the very beginning of the game, remember? It was like, it started out really, really weird. There were a lot of perverted stuff from Battler at the very beginning. And then
like,
it all went away right after that.
Yeah.
Alright, skip. What if I said I liked young, flat-chested girls with long black hair? Canon.
That's honestly... That's not too far off.
Huge. Yeah, everyone's pretty well endowed in SBA. I have noticed that.
Ah, so when they were on the beach after they got to the island.
Oh yeah, he was just memeing to break the ice, apparently.
Mm. Yeah. 1980s Japan, where sexual assault was an icebreaker. Oh, that's terrible.
I have questions to see whether you're qualified to be the next Ushirame head. Answer with care.
It is interesting how the very beginning was like that, where it kind of some of the stuff that you saw you might see in like a kind of slice of life anime.
Yes.
So, therefore, we return to my original theory.
Oh god damn it.
That Umineko
Oh no.
is actually a slice of life. Beato and Battler and everyone else are all
How do I
in
mute
school,
this guy?
And
Alright, he's muted. There you go. You can't hear him anymore.
damn it.
He's unmuted now.
You can't hide the truth, John. She does get really serious here. And she was acting like drunk at the start of the headship test.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about Beato's words in English? She did say something in English. Where was it? State your name. Oh, that was back further, I think. But she definitely did say something in English. I will go back and check that because somebody in the comments did bring up. Oh, the words in English. Are you talking about dynamite body? Or are you talking about all the way back there? Okay, well, we'll do this first. We'll do this first and then we'll go back to the phone call. About the words in English.
Dynamite body. I love that.
Fuck, I just went all the way back to the beginning of the episode.
Oops.
Alright. Come, try to remember you're in sin. That sounds like try to remember what form you had.
Yeah.
Soul of souls. Remember it, confess, and repent.
Zekato says he was talking about dynamite body.
Oh. You were talking about dynamite body? Dynamite body? What, did she fill herself with dynamite and blow up the island?
Someone was talking about nuclear bombs earlier.
No, she didn't fill herself with dynamite and blow up the island.
I'm typing dynamite body into Google and seeing what comes up.
I'll type it into Google too. Dynamite body. Nothing.
Sugar dynamite hydrating body scrub. I highly doubt that that's...
Where did she get that phrase from? The dynamite body phrase? Don't think too much in dynamite body. Oh. She's saying she has a... Oh. Oh, is it that... Could it be that Battler said whoever Bates reaches that they have a dynamite body before?
I actually literally just was thinking about that as you started to say that. I seem to remember when they got off the plane. No, I think when he first saw the portrait, he mentioned something. Didn't he? When they first got to the island and they first got the portrait? Maybe we're lingering too much on this. Well, okay. So let's
get to the sin. Let's get to the sin here.
Yeah.
And then we can move on to the final riddle after this. Who is Beitsuichi?
But
So
of course he would never admit that.
he's going on a rant about
he finds
his
Beato
entire
attractive.
childhood, and he's trying to excuse his actions. Why are we looking at the balcony scene? We're looking at the balcony
So-
scene because somebody recommended we check in the
I
balcony
was
scene.
actually thinking about the parallels between Battler's mom and Kyrie and Rudolph
Mm-hmm.
versus Kinzo's wife and Beato, if the mistress thing is actually true. Let me try and get this straight. So
Okay.
Kyrie was Rudolph's first woman, and then he left her for Battler's mom,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
then Rudolph left Battler's mom for Kyrie again,
Yes. When she died.
and had Angie.
Uh-huh.
So Kirie isn't Battler's birth mom, but she's Angie's birth mom. Now, in this balcony scene, Beato says that Battler is not born, or it wasn't this scene, it was a scene before. Battler is not born of Asumu,
Yes.
but he is Rudolph's son? Is that what it was?
That was, I think that's actually, that's after this. And that's when he's in purgatory, right?
Okay.
I think that whole red text there was after it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're right. They did say really confusing stuff about that. I'll pull up the red text too. Quick question, guys in the comments. You recommended we rewatch the balcony scene to hear how she describes the sin, correct? Because if you don't suggest we do that, we're not gonna waste our time checking over the scene. But if you guys think it's important, we'll check this over again and get to the meat of it. It is your inability to remember which is your sin. And for that reason, I shall forgive you. If you can remember, I shall forgive you. Remembering that is my test of atonement for you.
Come and try to remember what form you once held.
That's all I can think of. All right. This whole thing was interesting. Remember, that is why it is a sin. You make it seem like I caused you trouble 6 years ago or something. Unless I'm mistaken, this family conference is the first time we met. Is it true that your legend did exist? It's true that your legend did exist 6 years ago. And she says, on the Kenjima of 6 years ago, I was not manifested. So, she was manifested from something that happened 6 years ago. And from whatever that 6 years ago has something to do with coming for Shannon on a white horse.
Right.
Or something with white horses. Maybe it wasn't directed at Shannon. Maybe it was directed at somebody else. Like Kanon. But was Kanon there 6 years ago?
So Battler not returning to Rakenjima and not remembering a promise he made to someone is the sin? Is that...
Well, he promised, or he might have promised something. He either promised something or did something, and then the sin was not remembering it.
The sin is not remembering it, but the question is,
what was it?
What was it? And if we're still linking...
Yes, he did promise. He did promise
Shannon
something to someone from that scene from 6 years ago. He said he'll come for Shannon riding on a white horse.
Or
see you again.
Come for someone.
Or for someone.
Although, I mean, I think they're implying that he said it to her, right?
Yeah, and again, the two characters that we did want to talk about this a little later, but what we did wanted to bring up was Shannon and Kanon are both suspicious as fuck. We already know they already know way too much. They have like fucking magic that they use.
They're like basically hacking the game, and they're super meta. They understand what's going on. They understand that there have been multiple games played. They're aware of how they've died before, and that they even have died before in the first place.
Yes.
Was there any indication that Genji understood also?
Understood what? Oh, what
The
was
same
going on
things that
before?
Kanon and Shannon were talking.
I don't know. I think Genji's kind of been mysterious, but we did we do have the connection between Genji and Ronove. We have the connection between a lot of the characters, and the magical counterparts. Like every
Right.
character has their own side, and they also have a magical counterpart.
So before we do anything else, why don't we do that? I have a notepad here, all right.
Oh, you already have that done?
So we have Genji to Ronove.
Yes.
We have Kumasawa
Mm-hmm.
to Virgilia.
Mm-hmm.
We have. I'm kind of blanking. Do we have anyone else? Shannon connected to someone at all?
Someone said we could figure out who the Chester sisters are, and well, okay. Apparently, from the guns they use.
Do we really only have 2, then?
I don't know. Apparently, somebody said we could figure out who the Chester sisters are, and who the 7 sisters are. We have information to figure that out. Based on the guns that the Chester sisters use, or I think, or that they're named after. Who's Gap?
Who is Gap? That's a great question.
All the characters with magical counterparts seem to be servants at this point. Yes. That is that's another thing we wanted to talk about, is what the fuck does it mean to be a servant?
Because we had the whole theory with the goats about that one goat that fought Kraus being a battler goat, a used up piece, right?
Yes. The goats are used up pieces. Oh. I wouldn't try solving who the bunnies or the 7 sisters are. It would be difficult and won't tell you much.
A little bit of mixed signals here.
Think about why those characters are linked to Beato. Those characters also represent Beato's magic.
So, okay, so let's look at their names.
Uh-huh.
Chester 45. We're not gonna dwell on this too much, but
yeah,
45. Just in terms of thinking about weapons, 45 ACP.
Yeah.
A Colt pistol handgun.
That sounds like Rudolph.
What do you mean?
I don't know. When you think a Colt pistol handgun, I think of Rudolph.
Huh. I mean, maybe. What's the other one? 310?
There's Double O.
Double aught buck. Shotgun shell.
Yeah, and that sounds like Kraus.
I don't think we can really tie
The guns to the characters, just off of speculation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Kinzo does have all those guns, and we saw Rosa use a gun, and we saw Natsu both use a gun.
There's a.
And
how
Ava.
many? Wait. Okay. So a bunch of the adults each grabbed guns at one point in chapter. Was it 3 or 4?
I don't remember.
But if there are 7 guns, does it match up with the
7 sisters?
The sisters. But then, how do we factor in the
Chester sisters?
Yeah. Zekto says that I think we can safely say all adults could use weapons. So, how many adults do we have? We have Rosa, Rudolph.
We have the
Kirie.
5 parents.
Yes. Are we including only Ushiromiya's or also their spouses?
The spouses, I guess.
So we have Hideyoshi Ava, Rosa, Rudolph Kirie, Kraus Natsuhi. And that's That's 7.
Huh.
So that at least accounts for possibly maybe the 7 sisters.
Yes.
So
Possibly.
what about... And there are 3 Chiesters then.
Mm-hmm. Battler Jessica George?
Are we counting the children too?
I don't know. The Chiester sisters seem to be like newer models. I don't know.
That is true.
One
Shadow
dead Chiester.
Thundery says 45 00 410 556. So 556 is like a typical rifle round. I think do AKs use?
AKs use 7.62.
Oh, 5.56 is a NATO round. And then so 00 is probably double out buck. 45 is probably 45 ACP. What's 410?
Do not know what 410 is.
Yeah, neither do I. Apparently it's a type of slug.
It's a type of slug?
Or a shotgun
Interesting.
round.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a type of shotgun shell. Are we actually onto something here?
I have no idea, but apparently who they are isn't. Somebody said it's not too important to the plot.
But I mean, if we can draw a direct parallel between the 7 sisters and the Chiester sisters and the guns that the adults have been using, then that is exactly what I think Nia was saying earlier, that that means that we have a solution, a real physical solution to the magic that we've been seeing.
Okay, Kanon was fucking blasted in the chest, remember? When he fell into the well by a fucking shotgun.
Yeah.
And which was that? That was the 410. Or is that
But
00?
the only thing is that it shows the whatever round that they're firing, it shows it like snaking through. It's almost like heat seeking or homing, you know?
Yes. Yes.
Unless they're firing like they're firing Stinger missiles in the house, in the mansion.
Okay, this is also interesting. I just quick clicked on this tab that I had open. So both of these scenes, we named one episode 6 years because it was said a zillion times. We named another episode without we named another episode without love it cannot be seen because that was seen a zillion times. And who do I see in both of these scenes?
Beato and Shannon.
Except that's Jessica. That's not Beato.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not watching Parsec. I'm watching the stream.
Oh yeah. It got
behind.
It got me confused at first too. I was like, wait, who? But anyways, yeah. We see Shannon in both of these.
We do. And Shannon struck up something of a friendship with Beato in chapter 2.
Mm-hmm. And we have Kanon this whole time saying is being wary about the brooch that Beato gave her. And then they got those marks. Beato gave them the marks on their hands so they'd remember her.
Right.
Now, what I want to see is... what I wanted to go back to was the scene where Kanon dies defending Jessica. Where is that? Do we remember?
Chapter 3?
That was chapter 2. That was chapter 2.
Man,
Kanon.
I wish
they run into the room, because chapter 2 was the chapter where Shannon broke the mirror on the island at the very beginning. They brought back to that. What exactly does the mirror do on the island?
that was actually one of the big moments that I wrote down that I wanted us to look at. So this is perfect.
Yeah, let's see if it's. Shannon has a lot of stuff with Beato here.
Yeah.
Chapter 1 is like, or chapter 2, the beginning of chapter 2 is like all about Shannon, Kanon, and Beato.
The return of best girl.
Yes, the return of Kanon.
I forgot. Oh yeah, sorry, you're right.
Kanon's best girl. No.
Kanon is. I like Kanon's character a lot. I'm not sure why I do, but I just kind of do.
Yes, they're talking about like the three characters that are constantly talking about love are Shannon, Kanon, and Beato.
Mm-hmm. And I think Shannon's the only one who actually achieves it with George.
Yes.
Georgie-san.
Here's the whole shrine thing. Where
wait
the
a
mirror.
minute.
What?
Wait a minute. So
What?
I don't know if this is important or not, but I was right. The Torii Gate and the shrine itself are separate. I mean, they're connected, but they're two separate things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you were right.
So when the Torii Gate disappears, does that mean that the shrine itself also disappeared at the same time?
Well, I think like lightning hit it and the whole thing got blasted off the mountain. This is interesting. I'm just seeing this out of context. I fought with conflict for many days inside my heart. The virtuous part of me and the part that sided with the witch repeatedly fought each other. What? Okay, so the only people that are... One thing I also noticed is there are only a few people that are talking to... talk to Beato on times that are not the family conference. So, like, right now, whenever in the chapter where we have Beato giving the brooches, that's not the family conference. That's another chat. Like, when Beato gives Shen and Ken these brooches, that is not the family conference. So
Right.
There's nobody dressing up as Beato then. So, like...
Right.
Are Shannon and Kanon fucking insane imagining Beatrice?
Although, I mean, it could be a stretch. You can take this or leave this, but Rosa is the only one who doesn't really have to be taken into account in terms of, like, a spouse being away from their other spouse for a while.
Yes.
And she does go on these trips and leaves Maria alone for days at a time.
So is
it possible that she takes a
going
trip
to the island
every once in a while and doesn't tell anyone?
Well, we found out that she's actually in Hokkaido with her boyfriend.
Right, but that could only be one case. I don't know.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, it's probably a stretch.
I don't see a reason for Rosa to go murdering people, or what Battler did commit a sin.
Yeah.
That hurt Rosa.
Battler shunned Rosa's advance.
And now we have Shannon. Shannon is destroying this fucking mirror, but why?
For love, John.
Yes, but fucking who's telling her this?
Yeah.
Who is telling her to destroy this mirror? Beatrice. Beatrice is a human in disguise, but that's on the island. That's on the island when the murders are being taken place? Who is the Beatrice that's telling her to destroy the mirror?
I don't think that we can figure out who Beatrice is until we know, or at least have a working theory as to what the event that Battler is indirectly involved in 6 years ago is. But I'm not even sure where to start in figuring that out until we get answers to whole lists of stuff, you know?
Why would a human care if a mirror was destroyed?
In the opening to Umineko, in the little video that plays when you know, first boot up the game, it shows the Torii gate disappearing.
Yes.
So that, at least in a sense, and they didn't see it when they all went to the island for the conference, right? It wasn't there. So we know for a fact that this happened, obviously, before the family conference. We also know that the letters and bottles that were supposedly written by Maria were released into the water before. Right?
Yes, and they didn't match Maria's handwriting, they matched the handwriting of the witch.
Right.
So that also rules. That's also another thing that's why we ruled out Maria. But there's this whole thing about why is Shannon breaking a fucking mirror? Who is the Beatrice on the island that she's seeing? Because the Beatrice that Battler sees and that all the other characters see murdering people is somebody disguised as Beatrice. But nobody's disguised as Beatrice on the mansion. When it's not the family conference.
Right.
It's like, why is Shannon breaking the fucking mirror here? It sounds like Shannon is fucking gone insane.
Alright, well,
which would leads me back to the whole thing about again, somebody said it's probably not this simple, but Battler said he'd come for her on a white horse. He didn't come back. He forgot. She got mad, smashed a bunch of mirrors, and then killed people. all the while hallucinating Beatrice.
All the while during a really bad LSD trip in a slice of life anime. I'm sorry, I'll stop. So a couple comments in the chat. Worthless Winner asks us, you guys remember the chapel scene in chapter 2 where all the adults see Beato but only Rosa doesn't die? So Rosa was the only adult to not die. She's the one who ended up with the key to open the chapel in the first place. I also have written down Sakataro/lion symbolism.
Oh, what's up with that?
In regards to the chapel. Because the lion's in front of the chapel.
And then Sakataro is a lion.
And Sakataro is a lion. And there's also the biblical story of Daniel being thrown into the lion's den. But I just... See, there's all these connections that it could be. But
it's like we need a fucking map for this.
Yeah.
We need like a huge fucking map with a bunch of circles connected to each other. It's like at this point it would kind of be like a conspiracy map, tying everything together.
Pepe Sylvia. Have you ever watched Always Sunny?
Oh, hold on. No, I didn't. But somebody said, Worthless Winter says, if all the adults met Beato, who could possibly be disguised as Beato? In the chapel room, all the adults meet Beato.
Except Rosa, right?
Well, Rosa meets Beato, but Rosa's the only one who lives.
Oh, but she doesn't die. Oh, she met her, but she doesn't die. Okay.
Yes. So that rules.
So
that would rule
all of the adults then?
Yes, that rules out all the parents.
Shit, man. Wow. Okay.
In my opinion, I think I can confidently say it rules that. I'm still thinking it's either Shannon or Kanon, because again they know too much. There's this whole bullshittery about furniture. What if one of the adults was Beato? Because all the adults recognize each other's presence is there, and they also recognize Beato's presence.
And we saw all of the adults there
And Beato.
plus Beato. So it
Yes.
couldn't be one of them disguised as her.
Yes. The bullshittery though with Shannon and Ken. I want to find the scene where is it Kentucky Fried Jessica? Is that the scene? Where's the scene?
Episode name.
No, it wasn't this.
What are you looking
this. I'm looking for the scene where Kanon and Genji and Jessica run into the room, and Kanon dies. Kanon using magic. It's after this, I think. Oh, okay. Didn't we had Bates Ricci? There's this the whole VIP scene too. The witch's VIP room. So Kanon. The witch showed up at the beginning of this, at the beginning of chapter 2, and was staying as a VIP guest.
Sorry, say that again.
Did you see the scene that's on the scene that's on the screen here,
Yes.
where basically she showed up as a guest
Right, the witch's VIP room.
in the witch's VIP room, and Kanon went to see Beatrice.
And had that whole kind of argument with her.
Mm-hmm. And is it just Kanon who goes to see her?
I thought Shannon was there too.
I don't see Shannon. I just see Kanon.
Maybe it is just canon. Although, in this, I mean, Beato is acting like her usual playful self,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to her other, more sullen side that we've seen. So it could be that Kanon represents that more sullen, serious side, and that what we're seeing here is actually a visual representation of the two parts of Beato, if we're continuing with our Kanon is Beato theory.
So we're seeing Kanon talk to himself here?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it could all just be kind of like a metaphor for inner struggle, you know?
Because the other option is if Beatrice is Shannon, I think it's Kanon. But if it's, I feel like it's either Shannon or Kanon. You know. I think it's Kanon, but if we see Kanon talking to Beatrice, then, and he's actually talking to Beatrice, then it feels like that would be Shannon instead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Right.
but then here Shannon is talking to Beatrice too.
Right.
So I don't think that means much.
Do you think that maybe we're doing right now what the characters in the VN have been doing all along, and that's neglecting the epitaph? Do you think we should go back and look at the epitaph again?
Neglecting the epitaph?
Yeah.
Sure. I want to find one scene quick, and then
Okay.
I want to go back to the epitaph. But I definitely want to quick find this scene where the first time we see the characters using magic. I don't think. See, I was talking to somebody on another Discord, and I think they said that it's very, very hard to figure out the epitaph and to not bother trying.
Really?
But-
Even with the entire question arc finished?
Yeah, but I'm still not sure about that. I think we definitely should take a look at the epitaph. So here's the scene. Duck with green onions. Yes. I should have named this chapter Duck with Green Onions. What? Duck with green onions are the primary ingredients carrying disadvantage to himself. Alright. I'm gonna skip ahead to where they use magic. I feel like this is important because this is the first time we see a piece using magic.
Right.
This is also, I think, the first time we see fucking goats.
Yeah.
Alright. Skip ahead a little. Alright. So we have fucking Goat Hulk. Why don't you show me the power of Kinzo's furniture? Is she talking about the goat or is she talking about Kanon? Oh, the goat doesn't have the one wing seal, so she's talking about Kanon probably.
So, Worthless Winner wants us to think about the gold, and Zekato says that solving the epitaph will only help us figure out the gold and what that entails rather than the main story.
Was that in response to his master, or was it offered to the opposing camp?
Oh, okay, so the epitaph will help about as much as figuring out who the Chiesters are in solving the main story. So it seems like figuring out certain things only help to varying degrees.
Yes.
So that does help narrow it down quite a bit.
What does?
The
Figuring
fact
it-
that we can figure out the main story without really solving
Knowing
the
the
epitaph.
epitaph? Yeah. Because the main story is who is Beatrice and why are these murders being taken place?
Right.
He's an elite.
I still stand by our theory that all of this is somehow about teaching a lesson. Because all of these people are, like, cruel or greedy or lustful, you know. I mean, Rosa, hell. she is kind of everything, isn't she? But,
I'm not ready for this, man.
I really think that there's some level of trying to teach a lesson or a moral here.
Now, this is interesting. The maiden should obediently hide behind the Great Knight's back.
White horse.
That's not what I was thinking. I was thinking, this seems totally fucking backwards. When you think of maiden, when you think Jessica, do you think of a maiden? And when you think,
No.
when you think Great Knight, do you think of Kanon?
Not really. I mean, he is being brave here, defending her, but
I'm not ready for this, man.
the Great Knight.
Beato is mocking Kanon for not being a knight.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yes.
So she's saying it sarcastically. Although it is interesting thinking about the chess pieces.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Whether there's reference in parts like this to pawns, queens, knights, rooks, kings, etc.
I'm confused. This just sticks out as strange. This line from Kanon. He says, so what happens here is, you still there, Matt?
Yes. I am.
Okay, so he pulls out his sword, magic blade, and then Kanon says something like this can't even be used to trim the roses.
Remember, guys, it's not about size; it's how you use it. So
But what does that mean? Because he's fighting a fucking goat with it.
yeah, I'm kind of lost here.
Kanon
Shy
Kun,
about showing his sword to Jessica.
Kanon Kun, what is? I didn't want to show you. So you had the courage to draw your blade.
Oh, that's great. I didn't pick up on the innuendo before.
How does it feel to have to expose the fact that you're a subhuman being in front of the girl you have feelings for?
I'm gonna be really upset if Kanon's sword is actually his dick.
We solved it.
So upset.
Kanon is subhuman because he has a small dick.
There it is, everyone. Umineko solved. Everyone can go home. Well then, what is Shannon's shield?
Her breasts.
Her massive rack. Alright.
A magic sword can't trim roses. But magic doesn't exist, so what is this fucking sword? And why is Jessica... What is Jessica seeing?
This has gotten very off track.
No.
You know, I think we're onto something here.
She says, how does it feel to have expose the fact that you're a subhuman being in front of the girl you have feelings for? That's furniture. Subhuman being is furniture.
Right. But again,
what does it mean to be furniture?
Is that physical, or is that just indoctrination? You know? Is it just a child that's been raised to say, you are not human, and so they believe it?
I solved it. All of the furniture have genetic illnesses where they can't properly reproduce.
Do you actually...
Maybe.
Is that what you're thinking?
That could be why. It could be some genetic illness where like they're like sterile or something. Like how, like, if you a pony with a or a horse with a pony mix, or you've heard that, right?
No.
If you mate a horse with a pony, sterile. They're a mule.
Horse and donkey is a mule.
Yes, horse and donkey is a mule. Horse
but
plus
mules
donkey.
can't mate with each other.
Sterile hybrids. Yes. Mules cannot have offspring. So what if there's a genetic illness that runs in the family that causes all the people... Look, Kinzo is huge about having, like, offspring is a huge major theme in this. And if these servants,
obviously important.
If these servants are like people from the family that have this genetic illness whereby they're sterile and they can't have children,
then they become
furniture.
And it would make sense if that is stigmatized. It would make sense that they would be told that they're subhuman.
So then what's Kanon's magic sword?
I think we all know at this point.
Oh god. But yeah,
That
this
is true. Kinzo does have
6 feet fingers.
6 toes.
Yeah.
It wasn't just indoctrination.
Is it 6 toes and 6 fingers, or just 6 toes?
He has 6 feet fingers. Toes are feet fingers.
Kinzo is seen as superior because of his genetic defect, but I mean, that doesn't affect the family lineage.
Yes.
You know, it doesn't affect breeding. It only affects, you know, physicality. Man,
This whole scene is very strange.
you are the moon. There's no way I can smash the moon.
There's no way I can smash the moon.
Finna smash the moon. BRB.
Interesting. Okay. So I think that's all I wanted to talk about this scene. Although Kanon does kill the one goat before he gets fucking slaughtered by Beato. So yeah, there's weirdness there.
So he's really just he's really just slaying puss. All right, I'll stop.
So
That's enough.
So I feel like that is an actually reasonable explanation about what means furniture, what makes furniture, and it's some type of genetic defect is in my opinion.
Right.
That because like without love it cannot be seen. The whole and unable to love, and Kanon is constantly going on about being unable to love, and maybe he can't love because he can't have offspring.
That is, yeah.
Or
I was just gonna quickly say, cannot love or is not loved by someone else. Without love, the truth cannot be seen. So maybe it goes both ways, you know? Maybe even if the person has love, if they're not loved by someone else, like if the furniture are just family outcasts and not loved by Kinzo and the rest of the family,
yes,
then the truth of their heritage and lineage can't be seen.
Yeah. Like a general familial love, you're saying?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't think it has to even be romantic love. I think it can also be familial too.
This orphanage is just that's actually pretty sad. They're shoving they're excluding
They're shoving rejected Ushiromiya children into an orphanage and raising them to think that they're
Yo, what if all of the adults are in on this? Like Rosa?
This might be going too far.
No, seriously, there are kids in this orphanage, but how? What if this genetic defect runs in the family and the chances of having a child with that doesn't have this genetic defect are very low. So they kept having to try to have kids that don't have this genetic defect, and they finally, like, don't you think it's odd that these parents only have, okay, Rudolph has 2 children.
Yes, but from 2 different women.
Yes, from 2 different women. So like
That is true, and they each only have 1 child, and they're all practically adults.
Yes.
Except Maria.
Mm-hmm.
Like George is 23, Battler's 18, Jessica's
Yes.
18.
Mm-hmm. So like, what if Shannon and Kanon, who are the orphanage, are rejected children of the adults, and like the other kids at the orphanage too?
Man,
You know, if this isn't true, this is actually like
that's fucked.
I mean, so this is I might be onto something here. I think I might be onto something here, but like the chances of this being true are like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're kind of slim, but if it's not true, I have an idea for a book.
Yeah, really. I wonder if Ooh, wait a minute.
Whoa, what? You sound like you're onto something.
Are Shannon and Kanon Kinzo and Beato's kids during their affair?
Kinzo and Beato? Wait.
So they wouldn't be able to be a part of the Ushiromiya register because they weren't born of Kinzo's wife.
Okay, but that was if that was true, they would be the same age as Rosa and the rest of the adults, like Rosa, Rudolph, Ava, and Kraus.
Unless the affair took place later.
But what we know is that the Beato that was trapped in the cage in the Mansion Island seemed to not know what she was doing there. And your hypothesis was that Beato was your hypothesis.
Yeah.
Is that Beato is the child of Kinzo,
right?
And the original Beato.
Very good point. Very true.
Unless you're trying to say.
No. I'm not.
You're not.
I'm not.
Should I say it?
If you want to, you can. I'll leave that up to you.
Okay, we obviously know that Kinzo was obsessed with Beatrice.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not gonna go any further.
Basically, for whatever reason, we end up talking about incest when we're talking about this visual novel, and I don't know how we end up getting there.
Hey, when there's smoke, there's fire.
Hey, I mean, it is Japan. There's a lot of emotive shows going around recently, so...
So, Matt's new hypothesis is that Kanon and Shannon are the illegitimate children of Kinzo and his daughter.
Oh. That's not... Yes, you know what? That's it. We solved Umineko, everyone. Go home. That's it.
And that might create a genetic defect. I solved it.
The layer of incest causes Kanon and Shannon to be sterile.
Yes.
Man, it's just like the Habsburgs.
It's just like the Habsburgs? I don't know who those are.
Oh, they were basically the royal family of like most of Europe for years, for a long time. But they all kind of intermarried, not like directly, but like cousin and cousin kind of thing.
Yes.
And a lot of the kings that ended up like on the throne in Europe had like weird genetic defects, like really strange, facial structures, and like Kaiser Wilhelm II had like a dead arm at birth, stuff like that.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But yeah, in any case.
So this chat saying the scene with Beato and Rosa was in 1967, 19 years before the events of the story. And now this wouldn't match up because that Beato fell to her death, supposedly, right? 19 years before the events of the story, right? And if she fell to her death and she's dead, then that would mean Shannon and Kanon would have to be older than 20, which they clearly aren't. Because, as far as I know, you can't have a child after you're dead.
Right.
So
Unless
she
we
didn't
talk
die.
about- No, that doesn't make. Never mind.
So I think we're safe. I think we don't have to worry about this whole Kinzo and.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Actually, I am going to run to the bathroom real quick, so
All right. Enjoy your bathroom break.
be right back.
I will talk with Chad here. Hi Chat, how you doing? Why exclude the option that she gave birth? I'm not excluding the option that she gave birth, but to who? There's nobody. The Beato of 1967, who fell to her death. It could have given birth, but to who? Because there's nobody that's older than 20 except for George. I'm pretty sure George is not her child. I mean, she could have given birth. But it doesn't seem likely, and especially since she was kept on Kubadarian. Shannon Kanon would be 20 in 1986. I thought they said Kanon was like 16 or something. It was 19 years ago. Can we confirm? I thought Shannon and Kanon were younger than that. Can we confirm? Kanon said Kanon is 16. Yes. Then how old is Shannon? He's lying about. Okay, so you're saying he's lying about his age, and he is in fact the child of Kinzo and his daughter. That's hilarious. I don't think so. I don't think so. Is someone is the culprit of a murder? But that's true. That is true. If we think Kanon is the murderer,
Right.
if we think Kanon is Beato, so Kanon said he was 16. Shannon, I don't think we ever got an age for Shannon. Shannon should be, if Shannon's older than 18, Shannon might actually be 19 or 20. So it actually is possible. I've deduced with chat that it is possible for Shannon to be the daughter of that 1967 Beato.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But she gave birth to that Shannon before she fell off the cliff with Rosa. But I'm just saying that's possible.
Right.
But that would be that would mean something nefarious was going on.
Right.
But we're not talking about this anymore. So
Yeah. Well, I think we're just going down a rabbit hole that
a very dark rabbit
isn't
hole.
gonna lead anywhere.
Okay. There was something I wanted to bring up from 2 chapter 22, and it was the timestamp was 2205. I wrote this down because I thought this was interesting. Only Shannon and Kanon could interact with her enough to exchange words like this. They're referring to Beatrice here. They're saying only Shannon and Kanon.
Right. And she does, especially in chapter 2, she talks with Shannon and Kanon a lot.
Mm-hmm. What makes Shannon and Kanon special? Why do they know everything?
Well, they're obviously incest children, so... No. There's definitely something fucky going on here.
It's definitely incest.
I I didn't quite catch that.
I said it's definitely incest.
It's gotta be. There's no other. There's no other option.
Oh, they're both stated to be 16. Alright, Shannon and Kanon are both stated to be 16.
Okay.
So, unless they're both lying about their ages, I think we can rule out incest.
Yes.
Okay, anyways, what else do we have to discuss here? Any other major things you wanted to talk about? Let's see.
I wanted to take a look at the magic fight between Virgilia and Beato in chapter 2.
The one where the Beato's like, haha! Omae wa mou shinderu!
Nani? Yeah.
Okay, we can take a look at that. Chat, do you think that's important to take a look at? The fucking Omae wa mou shinderu.
Yeah, I just thought that was so absurd and over the top that there should be something. I think there's something more going. Because if we're saying there's a physical, real thing going on that magic is hiding that we can actually solve, how in the world do we even try and begin to figure out what was going on there?
Apparently it's not important, according to chat.
Really?
Yeah.
So is that just the writer just having a bit of fun?
It sounds like the writer on cocaine.
Maybe he's the one on the LSD trip.
Maybe he's Beatrice. The
I believe
author is Beatrice all along, and we are Battler.
What's the author's name again?
Ryushiki07.
Ryushiki?
Yeah. Let's see.
He was trying to teach us that magic scenes aren't to be taken at face value in that scene.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, and here's the thing where they're...
Oh. Hold on.
Where they...
Say that again?
Oh. Can you hear me okay?
I think I lost you, John.
Ah, fuck.
Discord's being funky.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Alright, cool. So what I was saying was, you know how they were like, oh, there are no more than blank amount of people on the island.
Right.
Well, they already did it once, and then they did it a second time. They said there are no more than 18 people. And now they're saying there's no more than 17 people. What if...
So does that mean that there's even less then?
What if somebody brought up the chess analogy, 16 pieces. What if there's only 16 people on the island, and one person isn't an actual person, they're a witch entity, but they don't know it. And nobody else knows it.
So you're saying they're not aware of what they're doing?
Well, they're not aware that they're not an actual human piece.
Oh. Huh. I guess it's possible.
If there's one less person, who the heck would it be? That's the question, though. What if it's Battler, and Battler's just, like, not here this entire time? But we've seen other characters interact with him, so it can't be him.
Yeah. If there were only 16 people, and each side in chess has 16 pieces, it makes sense with our symbolism that we've been seeing throughout this entire thing of two sides to every person. So there's two sides to every piece on the chessboard, on the in the other players. There's white and black.
Yes.
Right. And so if there's 16 people on the island, it makes sense that they represent 16, say, white chess pieces, and then the other pieces that we've been seeing represent the other side with this dual symbolism in terms of black pieces.
So one of the 17 people on the island is actually a black piece.
Maybe. But then where would be its corresponding white piece?
That is the question. It might be one of the characters' opposite sides. Wait a second.
Worthless Winner says at the end of episode 1, Beato gives Battler a bunch of questions. Do you reckon you can solve those at this point?
Yeah, I'll take a look at that. Is it in the tea party or the end? Let's check. But yeah, if one of this if there are only 16 people on the island, then one of the 17 pieces is actually the black piece of one of the characters. So it's the character's opposite side. First tea party. Alright. Questions are... Do you know where in here the questions would be?
I would assume at the very end of the tea party.
Yeah.
There's also the whole thing that we saw of Bairn and Lambda Delta being mischievous and also kind of Yuri with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Which was interesting.
Alright. Battler's screaming about making... Oh, here's the credits, so I think I went too far.
He said just before the credits start.
That Burn gave? I'm looking.
Info that Burn gives.
First, all I see is Jessica getting torn into shreds.
Rip. Jeshka.
Alright, so the questions are... I'm scrolling through here, guys. I'm just seeing Battler watching his family members being torn apart, and it's just so super sad to watch.
Yeah.
George was no longer shaped like a person. Sorry, George.
This writer really does like his gruesome descriptions.
Where are these dang questions? I've gone back a lot here. Oh, where she rapid fires questions? Oh, it might be here. Cackle, cackle. Oh, it's probably here.
Due to the small crack that. Oh my gosh.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, she's asking how people got shot through a fucking crack in the door.
Right. $104.30,
104.30?
apparently.
Oh. Okay.
After the credits, not before.
After the credits. Here we are. Speak well, Battler. Let's see if we can explain.
She does talk about being 1,000 years old quite a bit. That? Alright.
Huh?
Solved Umineko again, guys. Beato is actually Hitler, And
Oh!
the 1,000 years that she's been talking about is the 1,000-year Reich.
Oh
There it
my
is.
gosh.
Boom.
About... Okay. So tell me, Battler, what about
How the
Maria's
6
letter?
were killed.
Who gave Maria's letter? Well, we know that. That's somebody disguised themselves as Beatrice, obviously.
But
How-
in one of the things, it was Kinzo. In chapter 4, it was Kinzo that gave her the letter, wasn't it?
Somebody disguised themselves as Kinzo because Kinzo was already dead.
Right, so we're still saying that it was Beatrice then?
Yeah,
Or whoever is pretending to be Beatrice.
I believe so. That's what I'm thinking. How the 6 were killed. The 6 that got killed and locked in the storehouse, I believe.
Right.
They had like their faces blown off. And they were found in the storehouse, just lying on the ground.
Yes.
They were killed by the 7 sisters. But like, how were they killed? Can we think of a human way to kill them? I still have no idea.
I have no idea either. So Maria's letter, we're assuming, is someone who was disguised as either Beatrice or Kinzo. When she says the shutter, does she mean the seal that was placed on it?
What was the shutter? Chat, can you tell us what the shutter was? It's been a long time.
No one
And
would mistake Kinzo by sight, regardless of disguise. Was
that was when
one of the red?
Yeah, that was a red truth, and that's when Battler was like, "Ho ho! Well, you see, Kinzo's name was passed down." The shutter was what?
The shutter had the seal on it. And I forget what was written. I think it was Hebrew writing on it.
Oh yeah. The magic circle. But then, so somebody obviously painted a magic circle onto the shutter, but who was it? I don't know. I still don't know that. It's whoever Beatrice was. And then the receipt seal.
The receipt seal. That was Kinzo's door.
And that was like the receipt that was put in the door.
To prop it open, right?
No, it was...
Oh, to make sure no one had opened it.
No one had opened it.
If...
Yeah, and it was still there.
I mean, unless he went out the door, saw that the receipt fell, and just stuffed it back in there, right?
Well, I said he jumped out the window, remember?
Yeah. He's a window jumper.
He can actually fly. He learned it from George.
his taekwondo, or jujitsu, whatever he does.
I'm talking about when George and Beatrice flew out the window to resurrect Shannon.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
I still don't know how George got out of that place either. Because they're like, oh, there's no way George could have exited.
Right.
Man, I've really...
Are those the only questions she asks, or is there more?
Oh, let's see. There's probably more. The locked room with the chain. That was the room with Ava and Hideyoshi, I believe, right?
Yes.
How did they die? and there's no way they could have. The lock was only from the inside, and well, my theory was the culprit was hiding in there, and then when they were hiding like on the ceiling or something,
Right.
or in a closet, and then the people came in.
That was confusing to me because if you lock the door from the inside, can't you just lock it? Can't you open it, lock it, and then close it on your way out, and it's locked?
Well, it was locked with a chain.
Yeah. Okay.
You can only lock a door with a chain from the inside.
Right.
It's not like one of those doors with the doorknobs that you just push the button and it locks. Conveniently, I've locked myself out of my room like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I first moved into my apartment, they didn't have the key fobs that we used to get into the apartment. There also are scanners outside each of our bedroom doors, and the bedroom doors weren't working, so I locked my door from the inside by accident, and then I tried to get it open, but I couldn't because the bedroom door fob scanners weren't working. So I was locked out of my bedroom for a little while.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, but anyways, let's see what else they're asking. Kanon in the boiler room. How did Kanon die?
We're assuming he was shot somehow.
I have an idea.
Right?
I have an idea, though, for Kanon.
What's up?
My idea for Kanon is that it wasn't a trap. It was... The culprit had, like, an explosive device, right? Or, like, a time bomb or something. And they left it on the ground. And they primed it for, like, 10 seconds or something. Then Kanon ran down and got blown to bits by it. Or not necessarily blown to bits, but just blown up enough that he died.
Right.
Maybe? Kanon had a magic fight with...
I thought that she had denied the trap, or like any kind of thing like that with the red.
You're right, she did. I was trying to explain it as not a trap, but I guess it still falls under a trap. Yeah, this was the Genji and the others with the fucking the damn Maria singing the creepy song.
Oh yeah.
Who's the fucking culprit? Because like at the end, the only person that's alive is Badler. Everybody else is like dead.
Right.
I feel like I've gone over stuff so many times that I'm just missing so much obvious stuff. Yes, if you're assuming Kanon is the culprit, it'd be weird for him to set an IED for himself.
Yeah. Good point.
Well, fuck.
Unless we're talking about the other side of Kanon.
Huh?
No, never mind.
Oh, you mean the black piece?
Yeah.
Were you gonna say something?
No. I'm just really...
Like you want to say something.
No, I was just... I was just saying if we're continuing to carry through with this idea that there's white and black pieces, there's two sides to everyone, is it possible that they can physically affect each other? As in, is it possible that black piece Kanon could attack white piece Kanon? Or that black piece Genji, also known as Ronave, could attack white piece Genji? You know?
Huh.
Like, are they physical manifestations, or is it more of like a metaphorical thing? Is it like a metaphor for inner struggle or turmoil, or is it like there are literally two of these people?
Magic does not exist, so there are not two of everybody, is my opinion.
Right.
You
Unless
may...
every single person in this story has an evil twin. There it is. we solved Umineko.
Everybody has a twin.
Yes.
Kanon possibly being the culprit. You might want to see Kanon's death scene in episode 1. The way you looked at his death in episode 2. It's the only magical scene in episode 1. Is this important? Is it gonna help us if we do this? I mean, obviously, since you're recommending it,
Sure.
I feel like it will. The stench of mackerel. It's gotta be the stench of mackerel one, right?
Nazi proclaimed it as
Yeah, here we are.
I think so.
Shannon finds fucking... I think this is the only time we actually saw the inside of the boiler room, too. I don't think they actually showed the inside of the boiler room any other times.
I think in the most recent one they showed a little bit of it, but not to this extent.
Oh, yeah. Back to when Umineko felt like an actual murder mystery.
Yeah, really. I'm not furniture
Kanon's
anymore.
face twisted with remorse.
One of Master's rules.
Never shown anyone appeared on his face. The hand grabbed, his sweat became drunk in the lower lung. When Kanon swung the hatchet, courage as
I won't let your words lead me astray yet again. Wait. What was that line about 1,000 years?
Alright, let's go back. I won't let your words leave me astray yet again. Definitely makes it seem like he's met her before, which we do know he did because we saw that whole flashback in episode or chapter 2
Right.
with like...
Wait another 1,000 years in hell for your next summoner. Beato.
when Kanon swung the hatchet upwards and tried to dive into
The darkness sneered.
It sneered at that courage as
I love when the darkness sneers, don't you?
Yeah. It's my favorite thing about the darkness.
Kanon
Are you even darkness if you're not even sneering?
That's a great question. Are
Kanon...
you gatekeeping darkness right now?
another step.
Bro, do you dark? Do you even dark?
Fell and rolled.
So, Kanon fucking dies somehow. The hatchet had been dropped gradually. So there was a handle with a demon-shaped design engraved upon it. There was the stake in Kanon's chest, but there was nobody down there.
Fresh blood dribbled from the corner of his mouth.
That was the only scene where magic, like we saw the golden butterflies that were involved in Kanon's death there. But I have no idea what was going on. It was due to macro poisoning, yes.
Around this scene, the glittering gold butterflies danced mesmerizing in the darkness. It was a beautiful, beautiful dance.
So, like,
A funeral march of
do you know what's going on here?
and contempt for single boys' self-sacrifice.
No,
Kanon had already been prepared for his own death. He attempted one last measure of resistance, to reject death.
I've been racking my brain. I can't answer any of the questions that she asked.
I feel like a failure.
Yeah, I feel like an idiot because apparently we're supposed to be able to.
But we also know that a lot of people in the comments think we're like on the right track with a lot of stuff we talked about. So
Right. It's like we need one. It's like we need one thing to tell us, to like anchor us, you know.
Well, probably what's going to happen is what I've heard about the answer arcs is they don't really give away the stuff right away, the answers right away. So like we'll still have some time to figure things out as they gradually give us what's happening.
Right.
And if you're like, if we only had one piece, they might give us like one piece. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff apparently that they never tell us. So you'll have to figure out some things by yourself. Is it possible at the end is there stuff you can't even figure out at the end? I don't know. Help.
Well, first of all, I would say yes, we are just getting sleepy by now. But
yeah.
Second of all, I just had a couple things, consistent themes written down that I just wanted to spend like a minute on each.
Yeah.
Just going through them.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Because I don't really
So-
have much else to go over.
Yeah, and I think in any case we should end soon, probably.
Yeah.
But, so Maria's rose.
Mhm.
That is one thing that has been consistent in every single episode.
Nye.
Exactly. So, knowing what we know about Maria now, and how she can apparently breathe life into inanimate objects, and is a witch of marriage social, or whatever it is. What can we say about the significance of the rose based on what we've learned about Maria?
Oh. She can't bring the rose back to life.
Oh! Damn. That's really good.
Oh, she can't bring Rose back to life because there's magic that doesn't exist.
Right. She can't bring the rose back to life. Why? Is there a significance in her choosing the withered rose? Out of all of the roses that she could pick, she picked the one that was dying.
She picked the one that's dying?
Yeah. Does she feel some kind of kinship with the rose that's wilting away?
Oh yeah, and she feels like it was never really loved by its mother.
Or the person who was supposed to be taking care of it,
Yeah.
tending to it, nurturing it.
Fucking gardener. It was him all along.
Who's the gardener? Is it Kanon?
Oh yeah, Kanon's the gardener. He's also the murderer.
Alright, well, anything else on Maria's rose?
Oh,
That
there are
springs to
police
mind?
outside. Anything else about Maria's rose? No, do you have anything about it?
No, I don't. Although Kanon is the... Yeah. Okay.
He is the gardener.
He is the gardener. Because
Huh.
remember when they met him, he was like... He had a wheelbarrow full of
Ha ha ha.
like fertilizer and stuff, or
You
topsoil.
know, there are too many things with Kanon to be a coincidence. Kanon never loved the rose. That's it.
Mm.
What am I doing?
Alright, so, number 2. Sakataro and lion symbolism.
Yes.
We have Sakataro being the cute little nugget that he is, and the lions in front of the chapel, possibly a connection to a biblical story. Is there anything else where we've seen lions or lions have been referenced in the story?
Lions. Huh. That is a good question. I feel like there might have been.
I wasn't able to find anybody in just kind of skimming through some of the videos. Granted, I didn't give a completely thorough search, but that would take years. If we don't have anything, we'll just cross it off and move on to the next one, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I don't have anything at the moment. Yeah, we can. Yeah, I think we can move on. I don't think I
Okay.
have anything at the moment about
All
it.
right. We've talked a lot. I have two-sided written down, but we've already talked a lot about that. So,
Mm-hmm. Do we want to go over like all the characters quick and talk about just a quick overview of their other sides?
yeah.
All right. So Shannon.
So like we said before. Oh yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
I have a list actually of characters. This is what I wanted to. I did want to discuss this quick. So
Okay.
Shannon obviously has two sides. One that's able to love and one that's furniture. And also she has her servant named Shannon and her real name Sayo.
Right.
Anything you want to add for her?
Did we ever look up what Sayo means?
Oh,
Or
that's a
what
good question.
are you
Sayo meaning. Nah, Japanese.
Small knight.
Small knight.
According to Google, I don't know if that is correct or not. Anyone in our chat here Japanese or speaks Japanese?
Oh yeah, born at night.
Born at night.
Yeah, that's what I got. So, I think small knight is pretty much the same.
Born at night. I don't think there's really any significance that I can think of regarding that.
And actually, the the actual translation of Sayo is evening.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the word Sayo, not the name Sayo.
Small night meaning evening because it's earlier in the night?
Yes, I believe.
Okay, so that's just kind of like a weird translation.
Yeah, well, it's because the kanji for small or little is the
Combined with the kanji.
the kanji for night. Yeah,
Okay, I see.
yeah, it's the sai and the yo, the sa yo.
Sayonara.
Yeah. Anything else you wanted to talk about, Shannon? It's double-sided.
Not really. She's the one who actually seems the most consistent to me.
I feel like that too.
She never really denied her love for George in any of the episodes. And she pretty much always considered herself a human, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Well,
as opposed to canon.
She called herself furniture, but she's always like, I have the potential to love. So
Right. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's
mm-hmm. What's the
Who
biggest traits? What's the biggest traits of Shannon? That's what somebody asked. What's the biggest traits?
huge.
Okay,
Large.
moving on. Canon.
She's got huge tracts of land.
Canon denies that he can love. And
Yeah,
then
canon denies.
we don't know his real name because he never said it. And that's why I think Canon could be Beatrice because he never actually says his real name.
That is true. He doesn't.
He's about to, but we never actually find out.
Antonio Jose Quintanar, I hope I said that right,
Mhm.
Says that lions are represented guarding sacred places and, I'm assuming represent the Spanish National Congress.
Spanish National Congress.
Interesting. So if they're represented guarding sacred places, it would make sense to put them for them to be in front of the chapel, right?
Yes. Yes, it would. Very much so. Genji, we know his other side, his black piece
Ronove.
is Ronove. We don't know really too much about Genji the person though. Just that he's cool and calm and collected. Kumasawa, we obviously know her counterpart is Virgilia. And we know she
loves mackerel.
and then she gives these asides all the time.
Yeah, that is true. She has the power to speak to the audience. Which I think the only other person who does that is Beato, right?
Okay, theory time. I think I got it. Maybe. So we have Shannon and Kanon, who are basically like brother and sister, right? And we have Sayo, or not Sayo. We have Kumasawa, who's like their mentor type figure. And then we have Virgilia, who's like Beato's mentor type figure.
Ooh, yeah.
Now, what if Shannon is Beatrice and Kanon is the murderer? They're working together.
But it doesn't make sense because in chapter 4 they always end up dying.
Well, we never saw if Kanon died, and we never know if Kanon's always had these freak occurrences with his death. He was killed by magic in chapter 1, and he became Demon Kanon.
Back to life in chapter 2.
Yeah. And then
pulls out his sword in.
So like, Kanon could be the murderer, who's murdering people because of what Battler did to Shannon.
Maybe.
If you had to tell me. Or if you asked me, give me your Beatrice and give me your murderer. Before I would have said they're probably the same person, but now I'm thinking Beatrice is one of them, and the murderer is the other one. Oh, Beatrice confirms Kanon's death with the Reds.
Okay.
So fuck. But then who is the murderer? Because nobody was left alive, and somebody killed Battler at the very end. Beatrice said, "You're the only one left on this island, yet I'm going to kill you."
Let's move on.
Yeah. Okay. Nanjo, he's obviously the murderer.
You just will not back down on the Nanjo hate.
He's hiding all the bodies.
In his fat roll?
Yes.
That's mean. We shouldn't be mean to Nanjo.
Goda. What about Goda? Magical Chef Goda.
Magical girl chef Goda.
He's largely unimportant and a waste of space. Moving on.
And thus, because he's so inconspicuous, he is the murderer.
There's absolutely nothing that would suggest he's even involved remotely with this.
That's exactly why he's the best culprit.
What about Kinzo? Himself and his burnt self. Is he alive or is he dead? Like we see him talking this whole time, but Battler's suggesting that he's dead this whole time, and if so, who is Nanjo talking to?
And in chapter 4, he has those weird Beato eyes, and it's obviously not really him.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Goda cooked the corpses, Nanjo ate them. Yes.
The Goda Trice theory. Oh, that's great.
Natsui. The whole thing, all I remember about Natsui is she has the one-winged eagle engraved on her heart. And
right,
Kinzo...
and Kinzo has a special he thinks highly of her, or regards her highly.
Kinzo supposedly told her this. So this is interesting. If Kinzo's dead the whole time, then everybody who we've seen that's talked to Kinzo isn't actually talking to Kinzo.
Right.
They're pretending to talk to Kinzo.
So Natsuhi just goes into the study and has a whole heartwarming conversation with herself, pretending it's Kinzo.
Yes.
That's so sad.
If Kinzo
Poor
isn't
Natsuhi.
alive, what is Natsuhi doing in the room?
Right.
She's just talking about how good she is.
Have we seen any indication of a second side to Natsuhi?
It's not just Kraus. It's not just Kraus and Natsui. It's also Nanjo, because Nanjo is playing chess with Kinzo all the time. Remember?
Right.
And I think Shannon and Kanon, and maybe Genji too.
Genji have talked to him too.
Yeah. So it's like all the people that live on the island.
Right. Okay. What about Kirie? What do you got for Kirie?
All I know about her, all I have for her is the whole jealousy thing.
Right. I had actually forgotten about that.
But the whole thing about
Flip over the chessboard. Devil's
and
Groove.
and the whole birth mom thing, like who's Battler's real mother?
Right.
Because he's not born of Asamu, according to the Red Truth. So does that mean?
So the way that I understood that whole thing is that the battler that we are seeing is not battler, but is someone who took the name battler. Because the only person who can be battler is... The only person who can truly be Ushiromiya battler is someone born from Asumu and Rudolph.
Mm-hmm.
But it's possible for him to be Ushiromiya battler without... It's possible for him to have the name without truly being the physical Ushiromiya battler.
Yes. Huh.
So, does it have something to do with 6 years ago? Does him leaving the register have to do with him not being considered Ushiromiya battler anymore? Because he left the family name?
Okay, so I have the Red Truths. I pulled them up in front of me, and it says, I opened up this game in order to fight Ushiromiya Kinzo's grandchild, Ushiromiya Battler. Ushiromiya Battler's mother is Ushiromiya Azumu. My name is Ushiromiya Battler. It was from Ushiromiya Azumu that Ushiromiya Battler was born. I am Ushiromiya Battler. It was from you are not Ushiromiya Azumu's son. What the fuck?
Wait, so Beatrice is saying all of this red truth, right?
Battler's saying, my name is Ushiromiya Battler.
And he's also saying, I am Ushiromiya battler, right?
Yes.
But he can't say that it was from Ushiromiya Asumu that he was born. And
Yeah.
Beatrice says, you are not Ushiromiya Asumu's son. So
Yes.
he wasn't born of Ushiromiya Asumu, and she's technically not her birth son.
Well, he was born from Ushiromiya Azumu. It was from Ushiromiya Azumu that Ushiromiya Battler was born.
But why can't he say that? That second to last one.
Because he said that glug, which isn't Ushi. No, I'm joking.
He couldn't finish.
Yeah,
Couldn't
I
finish
know.
the sentence. So
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. Ushiromi Battler is not Ushiromi Asuma's son. Oh wait, is this...
But I opened this game in order to fight Ushiromiya Kinzo's grandchild. Is it Battler can say that he is Ushiromiya Battler because he believes he is, but he's not necessarily, because he's taken the name, but not necessarily that he is?
My name is Ushiromi Battler. He says, my name is Ushiromi Battler twice.
He also says, I am well, my name is Ushiromiya Battler. He does this, yeah, he does say that twice.
I am Ushiromi Battler, but he's not the same Battler that was born of Asumu. But then, Anji is also saying Ushiromi Battler is not Ushiromi Asumu's son. It was from Ushiromi Asumu that Ushiromi Battler was born. What? Battler is not Asumu's son. Ushiromi Battler's mother is Ushiromi Asumu. It was from Ushiromi Asumu that Ushiromi Battler was born. Battler is not Asumu's son. What the fuck?
I don't know, man. My brain is like smoking right now.
It's smoking Hiyoshi cigarettes.
Yeah, I think so.
And that's why Ava went out, or that's why Kirie had a cigarette in her pocket. Because your brain was smoking this. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm dead. I'm toast.
I'm toast as well.
Oh, let's just finish going over these truths.
Yeah.
Kanon is dead. He was the first to die. He was the 9th victim. So Kanon is definitely dead. All the master keys were under Rose's control in the second game. In the third game, George did not go down the stairs of the guest house. Of course, he flew out the window. All the windows and doors leading to the outside were locked from the inside. Furthermore, it is impossible to lock any of those from the outside. Theory, there is a secret passageway from the guest house to the mansion. They said all windows and doors leading to the outside. Why would they say leading to... Oh, they could mean within the house. Did I cut out again? Oh, I'm still here.
No, you are. I'm just...
Yeah.
I'm just fried.
Fourth game. All those who met at the family conference.
I need a beer or something.
Me too. Acknowledge the presence of Kinzo. No one would have mistake Ushiromi Kinzo by sight. By sight. By sight. Would they mistake him by smell, perhaps? They were all blinded.
Oh god, what does Kinzo smell like? he just exudes the smell of hard liquor and old man.
He smells like burnt toast.
Burnt feet. Burnt six-toed feet.
No one... They're saying nobody would mistake Ushiromi Kinzo by sight. Why would they say sight?
There's a lot of weird... Okay, so back
They
to
said
that
sight.
one.
They said sight because nobody actually saw him. Nobody actually saw Kinzo. It was a trick.
It was a hologram.
No, it wasn't even a hologram. It was like they were all blinded or something. They didn't actually see. And the story was just fucking with us.
They didn't have love, so they didn't see the truth.
Kinzo's already dead at the start of all the games, so we did talk about that. Ken did not commit suicide in the boiler room. All the survivors have alibis. All the dead have alibis, too. No kind of human or dead person on the island could have killed Kanon. He did not commit suicide. Then what the fuck happened? He had a heart attack? He hacked up a lung?
I really don't know.
Alright, well, this is getting long, and I'm, like, fried, so I can't get through all the rest of these truths. Sorry, guys. Thanks for tuning out to the stream.
It wasn't quite as productive as we were hoping, I think, but
It was very disorganized too, so if you like a jumble of hodgepodge mismatch, us rambling about random things, then I hope you enjoyed this, and if
Yeah.
you're still watching this, well, go get yourself a beer, because you deserve it.
exactly.
At any rate, we will see you guys back for the next video, which will be the start of Chapter 5.
And the answer arcs.
And the answer arcs. Well, you can just jump into answer arcs and get inspiration. Yeah, not now. I'm toast. We'll do the
Before
answer
we
arcs
did
at some
that, I
point.
think we agreed on.
Yeah,
I
we're
think
gonna.
we said we were gonna do at the very most a month's break.
Yeah,
So-
we were talking about taking a pretty extended break, so it might not be that long. It might only be like 2 weeks, but we'll discuss it, and we will let you guys know in the Discord when we are gonna get back to it. At any rate, guys, thank you for tuning in. And my name is Eclepid, here with Matt. I'm John, and goodbye.
See ya.